What's up again, everybody? So these past few days have been a doozy in the Dice Masters world for a variety of reasons. If you have not been keeping up with the scene over the last 72 hours, here is a summary of some of the things that have gone down. Towards the end of last year, WizKids quietly announced to game stores that the Winter WizKids Opens, or WKOs as they're called, would not be featuring Dice Masters as a competitive option. For those that don't know, the WKOs are WizKids run competitive tournaments that act as qualifiers for the national and world championships of WizKids game lines, Dice Masters, HeroClix, Attack Wings, you get the idea. When the news became public knowledge, Facebook and Reddit blew up a little bit, and the community reaction was so powerful that WizKids CEO Justin Zirin hopped into the conversation to answer questions and comment on the state of the game. I personally found his comments insightful and reassuring, particularly this one where he mentions doubling down on Dice Masters. All in all, it was refreshing to see communication from WizKids about their decision, and while the absence of Dice Masters in WKOs was really disappointing, the fact that they mentioned rescheduling them at a later date possibly left everyone with some hope. At least it did for me. Fast forward to 2 days ago, and several stores received last-minute news that Dice Masters would be included in the Winter WKOs, which is huge news. Obviously, it would be irresponsible to think that they made this change based solely on community feedback. After all, they have a business to run, but my hope is that they heard what the community wanted and they did what they could to try and provide that. Maybe I'm too optimistic and naive, but hey, we have WKOs, so I'll take it. Next up, WizKids made another huge announcement that could fundamentally change the game. They errataed this card. No, I'm kidding. It's not that big of a deal. When Rare Bifrost was revealed, the community went a little bit crazy trying to decide if this card was broken or not. Based on the wording printed on the card, it creates a game state that allows you to flood the board with every character in your used pile after playing the action and fielding a character to trigger the effect. Now, I am of the opinion that this card isn't as powerful as it first appears for several different reasons, but rather than going through those in a separate video that I already planned on making, WizKids did something that they almost never do and errataed the card to change the interaction and keep the board flood from happening. The card now allows you to field one character from your used pile for every character you field from reserve pool during the turn you play Bifrost. So you get a 1-for-1. Every character you field equals a character from your used pile that can come out on level 1. To me, this change makes the card effect so much weaker that it might now be nearly useless, but hey, not every card has to be meta powerful, and it'll still get run on meta teams because of the Energy Fixer Global, so you got that. Now on to the actual groundbreaking, game-changing announcement. Yesterday morning, WizKids released an article on their website detailing their new campaign box products, the Warhammer 40k and Avengers Infinity box products. Avengers Infinity is surprising as it was originally scheduled to be a gravity feed / draft pack set, but now has been part and parceled out into one campaign box and 2 team packs. As far as I can tell, the campaign boxes are very similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle box sets that WizKids released in the past. These are non-blind products, meaning that you know exactly what characters, cards, and dice come in the box. No hoping to pull a specific card from a pack, no hunting for super rares, just buy the box and get the cards. Within the announcement, they also said this: by shifting the focus of how players buy Dice Masters to non-blind products, we are trying to lower the barrier to entry for fans who are interested in trying the game fresh or maybe exploring one of the IPs in the game they haven't tried yet. Now, there's a lot to unpack in that statement. Shifting the focus could mean a complete departure from blind products, i.e. no more gravity feeds or draft packs. Now that seems a bit strange as the draft pack model was just released last November, 2 months ago. I could see them removing gravity feeds and keeping draft packs to provide a means of drafting within Dice Masters moving forward, but in order for drafting to work, you kinda need rarities and a large assortment of cards in a set to draft from, things that share affiliations and some synergies. With that in mind, maybe they mean to keep producing gravity feed draft pack sets, but plan to release more non-blind box content than gravity feed content? If that's the case, I'm totally down. Box content has more opportunity to draw newer players in, and gravity feed draft pack sets provide the seasoned players with the draft and sealed formats that we've come to love, so it seems like the best of both worlds, and we do need more players in the game. It would be remarkably sad to me, however, if they scrap gravity feeds and draft packs completely. So we'll we'll see if they give more information in the coming weeks and months leading up to these new releases and find out if the game is now a living card game instead of a collectible one. If that weren't enough for one announcement, they inserted this strangely vague paragraph at the end of the campaign box announcement. There are plenty of characters that are powerful enough to be included on tournament teams without ever being used at 4 copies of that die. In some previous non-blind releases, i.e. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, cards had a maximum number of dice based on the configuration. I don't know what configuration they're referring to. This potentially held back some cards from seeing their maximum potential in tournament play, even if it had no effect on others. Cards in campaign boxes are going to have max dice based on the gameplay, just like cards from boosters would. Does this mean that they will be putting a max 4 on all cards, but only giving like 2 dice per character in boxes? Does it mean that they plan to be more flexible with the max dice number in boxes like they are with boosters, making some cards like a max of 1 or even like a max of 6, like we saw on Super Rare Multiple Man? I lean towards the latter and would personally love to see more varied max dice numbers, as it would provide a new layer of strategy to team building. It could make you ask the question, is this card strong enough to only run 1 die of due to the max die cap of 1, or should I run 5 or 6 or 7 of this really low drop synergistic character even though the stats are like horrible? I'm all for that. And on top of all of this, the changes to Avengers Infinity have caused its release date to now move backwards. The Infinity campaign box is now scheduled for a May release alongside the 2 team packs they created with some of the cards from the original Gravity Feed set. So we are scheduled to see those the same month that the Infinity War movie releases, which is both smart from a business perspective, I'd say, and something that I've wanted them to do for a while now. Warhammer 40k now has a release date of July as well, with the Harley Quinn team pack releasing before both of those in April. So there you have it. A ton of stuff has happened and I'm still just trying to process it all. Tell me what you think. What excites you, worries you, that sort of thing. Sound off in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.